Guru Chitro dele shuye dang chabdi to tene semjen tamje ye dondo zobe sangji ye go ban to go ye di shir do chenin ge nyame samba ja je wa jangjo semgi ge nong on do dang ne sen da chi chen.
Good evening, everyone. Please listen to Dharma with vast motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that I would like to become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings.
Tene da dari shuye di tene do zang lun nang ne tene pe na sok ten me gi liu di nang ne da ni dang bo di gong do zong ne ni bo di le le ba re da ni bo di da ku lu le ma me tong ji ba ne tene che shu la ge ji to ba re che shu la ge ji gi ten do tene ma me tong ji ku lu le ba re tene di shologa di da takwa tamje sebar juru di kazang jeshe shuisa da sholo tsikang nipa di towa deyang tarlungo se da towa di gade towa dang tenmo yenayang tar tongwegi rangshin 통위기 최신 자기요리 다디 배저버션 되네 강도 다 토산이 삼로 땅나 되네 숨겨 자성 거든 라서 다 대함수 감 소매 감게 하율로게 토살 하율로게 봐 깨네 로 동창 망비게 벌도 대원용 받이 소양 되네 강도 타를 되네 디 하율라 계획이 대위기 계획 자와디 세바당 되는 살 년성 좀더 홍내 동일은 상임의 세반용계 망보여 버려 다 가당데 아주 최대 신배가 없어도 되네 지메 남녀 거기서 되네 쪽도 지메기 최대 신고야기 랭시도 보지요 되네 해이부 노르웨이인 뭐 지마메 봐서 되네 강도 하이 부동 보모 박도 내베 되네 Tirang Mambo Corne Tebigi, Lay Buyang, then a Tar, the give it over the Badang, then Gonzo, Nation Cardadong, then the Cherang Shak Dune Shikire, then Gonzo Lungden Malaten, then Kotaka Chin, then Lay Wamba Jajin La Chapshi, Lay Wamba Jajin La Di Chabiagi Nuba Medan, then Sanji Jumden de Sola, Lay Wamba Tin, then Sanji Jumden de La Chap Shune, then Zudo Timigi, Do Sumbegi, Ling Shitavodi, and so the Toy Tal Hungigi Dungel Selwich, Junga in Bakadang, the Zudo Timitan on Sunga.
So the Dharma we are teaching tonight is called the Sutra of Wise and Foolish. And out of many chapters, the first chapter is called the chapter of presenting various metaphors. And out of that, we have already done the first part, first story, and we are on the second now. And the second story basically says that in order to receive just one Sholok Dharma, the king has to make 1,000 butter lamb out of his body. And after he made that, then he received the one Sholok Dharma. And when we say one Sholok, or instead there are 4 lines. And the first line I have already explained last Saturday. And today the second line, which says, Towa Deyang Tar Lungo, means whatever is high eventually fall down. So all the things in samsara that we consider something high is no out of nature of falling down again. If we talk about the highest part of the samsara, for example, we have out of 6 realms, we have the Deva realms or God's realm, and again within the God's realm we have the Kama Dhatu, Rupa Dhatu, and Arupa Dhatu, or you can say desire realm, and formless realm. And then these 2 realms, formless realm and form realms, are all gods. And then the desire realm, there are many different parts, and some of them are also gods. So even these beings who are born in the God's realm or in the Deva realm, one of these dhatus, when the merit that causes them to be born there is exhausted or finished, then they have to come down again at the lower part of the samsara. Sometimes they even need to go down to all the way to the hell realms and become the fuel of the fire in the hell realms. And for example, if I say one story, just not long ago we met Stupa for Rinpoche at Kamaling. So the main text for Stupa is called True Bimala or True Stainless, Time Namni in Tibetan. And then one of these is called the Tuktor Time, which is the Ushnisha Bimale. So the history says how it was taught by Buddha is because there was a son of God who was about to die after enjoy many thousands of years in God's realm. Then he was informed by one of the yakshas that you are going to be die after 7 days. So he was frightened, and then he took refuge in Indra, who was the king of God. But of course, Indra didn't have any power to protect him from not being die in 7 days. So they both went to Buddha. And then Buddha taught this sutra. A sutra actually is not sutra, it's dharani, but somehow we call sutra. Because this is zung, not do. But some people also call do, but actually this is dharani. Dharani of this Bimala, dharani of the Ushnisha Bimala was taught like that. So in this story also we can see, even if you born in the highest part of samsara, once the merit that causes you be born there is exhausted or finished, then you have to come down a lower part of the samsara until. So as long as you are within the samsara, no, you are not free from the falling down. So it doesn't matter how high you are at a point, but it's not free from the nature of falling down again. That's what it means. The second line when he says, high also fall down eventually.
Then the Masane Samlo Tangbayana, Tangaranzo, Chehagi, then Dago, Bumbo, then Top Gone, Tombodong, the Kanzo, Chimoka, the Yoba in a young, the two young, then Lodangi Tamne, then Kanzo, Hongdoyadang. Kashi Losang Matang Begone, then Mal Hongdoyadang. 대일 홍바zam마 되네 칼라라 되네 종항나로 수와라 저거야 되네 용기요 바래 되네 어디 수기 다 빼쳤네 되네 강도 톱 거네 첨복이 체돌라 배들 맞에 받제네 대양 미다바 임바 셰바제네 되네 죄라
So that was the example of whole samsara. So even in if we take a example for our this planet or this world, like the leaders of the great nation, once they are in the highest power, but next year they can be very low position again. So everything is impermanent, and then of course when your turn is done, you naturally fall down from that position. Sometime, even before your year is enough, you get kicked out from that position, and then you become the lowest of the lowest again. So like that, all this ranking system or whatever you call high level people, whatever, they are all in the nature of falling down. So there is nothing to be attached to. So the instruction here is don't waste your time trying to get something like that, which is not really permanent. Rather than that, you should spend the time to practicing Dharma than wasting time for something like that, which is not really permanent.
Then, mi jamboling mi chegaji then top gone dang, tam nyenrak dang, then ganzo digi chedola then 장장 배제당내 되는 최두백이 고가 매바 최두백이 두스 매바로 보지 자기 여바래 대인상 되네 강도 토위 달홍와 임바 시고를 했어요.
So actually it is very important for us to know that no matter how high we are, we will fall down eventually, because in the Zambuddhiva or world on the earth, most probably the half of the population is always looking something higher, and then everyone is wasting their life just looking for higher and not getting anything from that. So that's why as a practitioner, you should understand there is nothing to be high in samsara, because this is in the nature of falling down. Rather than wasting time of looking for something high which is not really permanent or not really good for anything, you should spend time more practicing Dharma.
Tene cikang sumbadi duwa yuena delwa ong se. Da duwa seginde kande jigla segere se na jugin tende chok mongbo chokbala tene jungwa. Di nangshin tene kangso da 당가랑도 파마 부시스네 지도 두와 대나진 쪽 자시진네 두와 대나진다 당 전에 대나진 다 윤통선의 삼로당나 전에 총주 다 니마레 니마 제가 라소베기 되네 총주기 좀 못해서 되네 주소 지 가시지게 링라더니 남바 나서 작신 최종 벌마 최종 토면 최종 초기 요래대 있나요? 되는 주소 가시게 제라 랑랑 소세네라 되는 델도게 요바리 대난신 알아서 되네 강소 파마 부시드네 두어당 델와 토바 독자시진네 델와 토바 대솔라양 되네 다 도르나 신착게 미루어 되네 다 타로 두이기랑 신바 제네 되네 다 건도 다 대솔라 신차 방고에 두버지.
And third line, out of these 4 lines, the third one says, Dua yona tarwa hong in Tibetan, which means if there is coming together, there is separation. That's it, what it means. So what it means is everything that comes together because of some causes and condition, eventually have to be separated again. So the main thing that we have to understand from this line is we should not be attached to any our parents or spouses or friends or whatever, because some causes and condition, maybe because of our previous karma or whatever, they brought us together. But when that cause and condition is gone, then it is natural in the separation. So there's no way that we can stay or live together forever and forever. So we should never expect it that way. And then if we take the shortest example, like in the meetings, so for example, if you have important meeting today here, then you have so many people come together here for a few hours. Then when the meeting is done, then they all go back to their own places. Just like that. Only the matter of the time, like coming together with your parents in this life, your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you have children or parents, everything is like that. They brought together because of some causes and conditions. Then when these causes and condition is exhausted or finished or gone, then there is separation again, that's for sure. Therefore, usually we should understand this and we should not be too attached to them. Then when you have to separate from them, you will not have too much suffering of being separated from them, because if you understand from the beginning.
되네 시버디 지강 시버디 깨와요나 치워를 줄세 다 깨와 알아서 깨와라 다 지당 녜레 깨와당 되실레 깨와당 뒤대 깨와당 공화레 깨와세 깨와 넘버 시르 버지요 버리 다 뒤리네 되네 간대지기나야 깨와 넘버 시가 네 이나야 되네 타를 되네 치위게랑 신레 마대바리 되네 깨네 송데 마치와 치와 메발 하되긴 지야 메발이 치위게랑 신레 다 강조 깨위 담아 치와 임바 세고래 그쯤다.
And the last line, or the fourth line in this shlok, which says, if there is birth and there is death. Or maybe you can also explain in, if there is arising and there is cessation. So what it means, let's just check the birth and death. So usually in Buddhism, there's 4 different ways of taking birth, which is like birth from the womb, which we all came from actually. And then another way is which we all know is birth from eggs, and then birth from moisture and heat, dosher. And another one is the miraculous birth, is how you translate it. Miraculous birth, or zuke in Tibetan. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever way you have taken birth, but you are not free from death. So as long as there's a birth, then there's death. It is certain there's a death. Therefore, we should not be too attached to this life again. And this is the main point that we should understand from this 4th line, the last line.
딜라다 마동은 마동 디도 감네 타시 되네 시기요리 되네 양 강조 가시기 선발라 되네 싹바디 세저이 마 수야 시기리 토와디 홍야 수야 시기리 두와이나 데와던 깨와이나 시와디 수야 시기리 선배 다 강조 된대기 남도터 보지야 샤르시기리 되네 말한 속에 대 강조 민점 측점의 시기요래데 이나 된디 신기요 말이 된 마셔발라 때네 되네 강조 디술러 되네 코르네 되네 내중길로디 기투비 메바리 디조디 다가르레스나 최양도 버두나 내중기 로디 코로아데 방고는 내중기 로디 내발도 고고요 바래 내중기 로 마게나 코로아데 방투야 매바지도 내중기 로 마게나 타르바데 톱투야기 람 매바도 보지긴데 디인들 되는 당보 내중기게 얘기 치도라 다 딱바 탐제 세바당 토월 홍어당 타를 홍어당 두어 예바 데텔와 두이 타마 델와당 기위타와 치마 시나 가서 코로알은 이전 게 두기를 버리 디 민감세기요래 된다 마시상 가서 되네 코로알은 이전 게 마도 코로알은 이전 게 마도 발라 되네 되네 나 딱진게로 주노 싹게 이게 라 미세세 가시 되네 톡고네 톰베기 제도라 되네 미세세 가시 다 지도 델위기 두위기 되네 강도 베즐라 때는 미세세 가지 깨와요는 치와 마셔발라 때는 땐도 대학이 삼로전 그 직딩기 저거 좀네 되는 미세세도 그요 바래 대인들 대인당 다 뒤송에 조디 되네 예중 코로라 예중 깨야기 록 예중게 록 깨야기 체도 되네 쇼로가시 세강시어디 쇼로가 됐어 대인들 대에는 가서 돌람당 다 가시기형 년퇴기 람더버지 태명의 람더버지 샤르레 삼개월에 디 말이 디 동학 탐지기 되네 람기 멍시도 버지 람기 따와도 버지 자기요 봐.
So these four lines is usually in the Abhidharma called the four stream of impermanence. So some people might think we all know if there's a birth and there's a death. And then we all know if there's coming together, there's separation. And also we all know there's if high and it will fall down. And also we know and as usually Khenpo already explained last Saturday, we have the Sakpa Thamje Sabarkyu, means what you have collected will be finished. But here it says whatever is permanent collected, but same thing. So we all know. Then some people might think, what is big deal there? Then the answer is, we all know that, but we don't have certainty. We are not convinced with that. So we never think we are going to die. That's why we are like trying to. Some people are spending all their life trying to get some position higher and higher. And then right middle of that they die because they never think they are going to die. And then some people are spending their whole life accumulating material wealth, thinking that they are going to live for eons and eons. But right in the middle of accumulating them, they just die like that. So we should have certainty. We should be convinced with these teachings. Then we will have the genuine sense of renunciation. Because without renunciation, there is no way that you can practice genuine Dharma. Therefore, renunciation is very important in order to renounce the world. You must have a genuine sense of renunciation. In order to get liberation, you must have a genuine sense of renunciation. Without a genuine renunciation, no matter how hard you practice, your practice is not really a real Dharma or genuine Dharma yet. Therefore, some people think when we talk about the renunciation, they just think this is a Hinayana path or the Shavakayana path, but that's totally wrong. This is the path of whole Sutrayana and Mantrayana. As long as you are a Buddhist practitioner, you must have this basic practice as your basis or foundation. Then you can walk on the path successfully. So main thing here is the king was taught by this Brahmin how important the renunciation is. So this four line is usually in the Abhidharma called the four stream of impermanence.
아야. 다 되네마 뭐드는 책수 제바 디 메마 탁도 젤보데 랍도 가와던 구와 이랑데 제베셈 매신도 되게 제 담체소 다 류라 말매 동 수나 양 되네 대라 나사도 동일 강엘 요래도 있는 대라 죄바케지장 남하게 버린 덕 최철와 디양 상제수 주비 치르데 되네 네 최기 치르도 된데서네 까와지야디 가르레서나 상지기 고방 토백이 치르도래 칭음바로 족바 상제반나 예시기기 샘진 띠무기 동반남 신도낭월 줄지 제2 담제마 타우도 남사양럽도 예sem 때는 네 상지기 고방 토백이 치르도 깔려 된데서 잡 최기 최기 인장 되는 마음 반응이 최 양덕의 둠네 상지기 고방 토바당 되는 예시기획의 샘진 담얘기 마리밤 띠무기 동바 남다 띠무기 믹 동바 남 신도 나월 줄지 최기 나월 줄지 제 담자 나 강조다 말람 저거 담자 저거 말람 저거 제바레 대 담자 말람 제바당 대마 타도 사양럽도 유 세다 사유 남사양유 남당 사양유 예배 내 장매리게 라이 포장기 버도 예배 다디 전부링 점 많이 받는 사유디 야 장민내다 수컴 내리 줍든나네 장미기 내기 버도라 되네 장민내 라이 포장기 버도 되네 여바이 다 라이 포장되서 여바 사유 다 대다가 남칼레 밥데 류기 최비 내솔 하소 되네 하데소양 되네 다 상제기 와건소 젤버디기 되네 배 미세비기 담자동 mellam 쳔보 다바임바 셰네 되네 하데소양 최바비기 지도 되네 장미기 내네마 바바인 하소.
So as soon as this shlok or this stanza, the 4 line was taught by the Brahma, the king was very pleased. He was overjoyed with a great appreciation, great rejoice, and then he didn't have even a moment of regret of having his body 1,000 butter lamb. And then furthermore, he has this commitment in his mind, the king. He said in his mind, he didn't say by mouth, but he says, I'm looking for Dharma. This is in order to become a Buddha. So what I'm doing is in order to become a Buddha. So in the future, when I become a perfect Buddha, may I be able to, with the light of my primordial wisdom, all those sentient beings who are blinded with their ignorance, be light, give them light. So when the king has this kind of commitment in his mind, we should call it says commitment, but it's also an aspiration actually. And then as soon as the king has this aspiration and commitment, the sky and the earth both shook or tremble. Okay, shook is better. Shook. Tremble. I think shook is okay. Shaking, shaking, shook, and shaking. Okay, I say all the tenses. Shaking, shook, shaking. Okay. Okay. So as soon as the king has this commitment or aspiration he did, then the earth and the sky is maybe space. Nam could mean sky and space both in Tibetan. So it's just a nam sa. Just in case if you know Tibetan, Nam and Sa. Sa is very clear, earth, and Nam could be space, but I don't know how the space can shoot anyway. But it says, and then not only this earth or this world, it says, up until to the palace of the God's realm, which we call the pure abode or pure location. Let's say pure place.
남육색인 디인설에도 남가를 사이 포장돼서 육은 현재의 디인마다 남사육은 남데.
So actually, this Ne Tsangma in Tibetan we call Ne Tsangma, which I translated as pure abode. If my pronunciation is not clear, it is A-B-O-D-E, abode. So pure abode. So Khenpo just explained, when it says earth and sky shook, means because these palaces are in the space actually. So maybe this is what it means. When the sky also shook, means the palace of this pure abode God's realm also shook. And this is part of the out of the 17 stages of the Rubadadu, form realm. So up until that, as soon as the king had this commitment, then earth and the space, all until the palace of the gods of the pure abode shook. And then all the gods from that realm descend to earth. And that they went to the king, where king offering his body.
장조 셈바 대류 대다르 식바 하 대다기 통내 땡기 남카 용소 강고 대다 무대 되는 하대족이 제보디기 굴을 말매 동중에 되는 굴을 시쪽에 여가 통화당 되는 하대도 남과 강화 점도 되는 무쇼로래 무비 치마 차신도 밤내 바바당 되는 치마양 차신도 밥 대나전 하지기 매독장 차신도 밥대 쳐바 제조 되는 매독이 양 차르바바신도 부터네 되는 제보디 굴을 쳐바표와 하대도 대세나 자진 해왕배 장 절보강 나와 대롱네 남바 나초기 되진 악대 되게 점래서 전에 대마세 숨지자숨기 제보를 자진기 양되네 될어용네 되네 상 제보될어 치 남바 나초기 거네 되바 표어당 되네 대바피네 타마가레 슈바레 숭바스나 제얼보 첨보 디다르 신도 동mel기 동바딜라 셈 제발 마주르담 저랑 꿀리라 된데 되네 강일 첨보 중바디 되네 저랑 투라 제발 깨마송에 되네 디오른도 제얼베 메바 제바 메도 제얼베 내가 저밤에 최기철도 가와 제바 최기철도 갈래 강도가 류 러동을 저밤에 생성 저진게 매바 절보 첨보 대다를 류 더싱 냠 미데 신도 저밤에 짐내바디 지 이체발 줄 되는 절보 저랑 수보 다르네 되네 배 강일당 디 첨보 중에 수보 다르신도 되네 다른 저바 메세데 나 이치메 간레스니 이치기리 된되네 사용 맞지기
사용 모드 숨주 자성 게 성사기 숨주 자성 게 성사기 사용 맞았어 And it says the Bodhisattva, so it doesn't say king, but king. It was a king. When these gods or devas from the pure abode came down, and when they saw the body of this Bodhisattva was broken, and all the devas wept or cried, filling the sound of cry, all the space. Then also there the tears came down just like a rain. And not only that, they also brought the flower of the God's realm, and then they make offering with this their celestial. How to say celestial, right? Celestial, yeah, celestial flower. Let's say celestial flower. So anyway, the flower from God's realm, and they make offering to the king. And at that time, the Indra, the king of the gods, also came. And then again, we have so many different realms of the king and the gods. So Indra is the king of the Sumchu Tsaksum in Tibetan, which means the 33 gods. Or if you want to know the Sanskrit word for that is Triyana. It's a Triyana. Like garden is Tushita. Tushita is very well known for everyone. But Triyana is the Sumchu Tsaksum. So Indra is the king of that particular place. So he also came to visit the king Bodhisattva, who just made 1,000 bottle lamp offering out of his body. And then the Indra, the king of this Sumchu Tsaksum, praised a king in many different ways because of what he just did for the Dharma. He praised, and then he told the king, the Indra, great king, you have been suffering a lot. Did you have any regret or remorse? And the king said, no, I don't. And then again, the Indra said, how could I believe you, because you are going through so much suffering, and also your body is shaking, and still you say you have no regret. How could I believe you? And then the king says, okay, I'm there.
Tene jelbe mreba galde dog tongmane tame bardu da legade go zambe tongmane tama tene kulul manme tongzobe bardu de bardu la jebe se meba yina da ngala jeba dang tene gangso sem pashumba dang jeba la soba tene ge se meba yina luigi made ngakho shindu sobar jurji je tene da ngala jeba buzamya meba ke meba yina nge da 이공 동주버디 마디 차상되는 가는 신 서버 줄지 되네 말람 투면남 세버에 덴바더스로 덴다르 제 줄지 제 메마 탁도 류마코신도 마메 버 줄도즈 대송바당 되네 데마타도 되네 이공 동주비기 마탐제되는 지경 매번 되네 나마지다와신도 줄바리 되게도 다 말람 도면기 다디 제도 편제를 디 갑라 제보디 사구벌 다 상제 좀 된데 사구벌 내바인서래 가서 뭐 강소 왕주셰비기 갑서 사구벌을 말람로 왕원서기도 말람로 왕 톱나 되네 디나신에 강소 말람 따바담이 되네 줄투비기 누바요 버려도
So when the Indra told king, how could I believe you, because you are going through so much suffering, and your body is shaking, you still say you have no regret. Then king said, he just put the witness of the truth. He says, from the very beginning till the end, if I didn't have any regret, may all these wounds of the body lamp, the 1,000 wounds, become healed away, right away, or revive right away. So as soon as king said that, and he's become before, without any wounds. All the wounds are healed right away. And then that proved that because king said, if I didn't have any regret from the beginning until the end. So what that means is, from the beginning of piercing his body in order to make 1,000 butter lamb out of his body until all the butter is done, burn out, right? Burn out. If I didn't have any regret, then may all these wounds healed by itself. Then as soon as the king said that, then it actually healed and he became exactly before how he was before. So I think at that time, because this is a previous life of the Buddha Shakyamuni when he was practicing on the Bodhisattva path. So I would guess he was on the 9th Bhumi at that time. 9th Bhumi. Out of 10th Bodhisattva Bhumi, he was on the 9th Bhumi. Because when you reach to the 9th Bhumi, then there is something called, you will have the 10 powers. And then one of them is power over your aspiration. Whatever you make aspiration, it is realized or is accomplished. So according to the story, I guess he was on the 9th Bhumi at that time.
동일 박도 매발라 되네 강소 용네 동일당 강엘 박도 매발라 계도 세네 되네 최주변디 상지 단다 상지 초랑지 세네 라데도 이제 말한다 좀 된데 응어야 샘진기 레도 미세비 동일당 되데 최년나 당암년 상제 마토베 바도 상제 토바기 제도라 되네 샘진 덴비기 제도 상제 토고 상제 토베 제도 대능신기 강엘 잡네 강엘 캐도 세네 최주바레 되네 단다 당어마 상제 제부 맨말람 답비기 제부 상제의 톱차로다 대지레도 도와 탐지 최기 나와던 데와 용서 땅대 냥엘레 다워로 공세다 네마 칼레 잡네 제부데 뭐 톱차르데 다 상지 샘진담 열려 당네 저랑 강소 냥엘레 얘기 되네 공부하셔야지 되네 강소다 가르지는 공부하시기 유세네다 본적이 이 님에게 전서 줘보지다 쉬워서
그 중견데 상력이 사들어.
사들이.
상력이 사들어. 단다들 말아. 단내 땅만 사들.
말이 게메일 하네.
So I think you remember that this story was being told by the gods of Brahma. Or again, in Brahma there are three different with Brahma Kayika. You remember that? Brahma Kayika, because in Tibetan we say Sangri, Sangpa Dunodun, like that. So part of the Brahma came down to Buddha and when Buddha was about to go parinirvana. So they are requesting. So here, and then the gods, or there was from this Brahma Kayika, or just Brahma is better, I think. Because it's Sangpa is Brahma, but Sangri is Brahma Kayika. To make more precise, okay? So, and then now, the gods from this Brahma Kayika told Buddha. So at that time, actually that king was you. So in the ancient time, in the past, you did so much, you went through under so much hardship in order to receive the Dharma. And then you become Buddha now. So now why you want to go to parinirvana without teaching these beings and then giving up all the beings? So you better teach them first before you go to the nirvana. 다 뜻을 살수다. 뜻을 딱딱 살수.
네. 되네 다 되게 빼나속 때문에 다 실로가를 제도라 꿀레를 담아도 시요리다 되는 이디 좀 사.
So this first chapter, which Pe Nasok Tempa in Tibetan, I translated presenting the various metaphors or examples. And there are actually 4 histories, and out of 4, we have done 2. And we still have 2 more in this first chapter, and today the time is up. So we practice Sakya Nedolma now, this one. 다 등치로. 오야 만남 과다 냠베 심제 탐제 라마 상게 림보 제라이 겹선 제오 상게 제단 겐데 남라이 겹선 Lama yedam khandu zolai gyabzai chew Rangsam tongzai jige golai gyabzai chew Maya namkata nyambe simje tamje Lama sangye rinpo chelai gyabzai chew Sangye chedan gende namlai gyabzai chew Lama yedam khandu zolai gyabzai chew Rangsam tongzai jige golai gyabzai chew Maya namkata nyambe simje tamje Lama sangye rinpo chelai gyabzai chew Sangye chedan gende namlai gyabzai chew Lama yedam khandu zolai gyabzai chew Rangsam tongzai jige golai gyabzai Man bemo, 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 man bemo. Man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, man bemo, man bemo, man bemo, man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo. Man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo. Oh man bemo, 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 man bemo,
O mani bheme ya le da lo ya gele yo wa ten da ne da jo bu se wa so sem je ye me de ne na em gun je de kha so me ge re ya to ya da ge jo da lo ra ye ro son ya ro jo da xie jia zai xie ne la so ba yin lu jie ge ya la ce wa ra ya ma ju rai ji lu sem de wa ya ma ya lu ya ro ji be yong xie zhuo ya be do ma ji nie ba ma lu ji ji da ya do de ba ya da ce re ne me de ge de ba ra jo la ma ya guan jo san ye do je da han zhe xue zhong san me ne de da le de lo wa me be de do ge mo ya ma ya la da se do ya ba ra jo la ma ya guan jo ya san ge do je da kan zhe xue zhong san me ne de da le de lo wa me be de do ge mo ya ma ya la da ya se do ya ba ra jo ya la ma guan jo san ge do je da kan zhe xue zhong san me ne de da le de lo wa me be de do ge mo ya ma ya la da se do ba jo.
The regular dedication and auspicious verses, the Tashi prayer.
Ho ye nam de ye tam je se ba ye tham ne ye be da na ya bam se ne ge ga ya na je ba la ya tro ba se be so le ro wa ra yo jam ba la ba wa je da ra ken ba ya kun du zang bo yin te yang yin te yin te da ye kun ye je so yin da lo ge wo yin te da ye tam je rab do mo san ge ko san ye be chen la yam da che nye me ge ra yin den be chen la yam gen de me chen den be chen la che da ya ma wa ya ma la ya ro ba ra sho ya du che le ja ja be ten le ya pa ma ya ba de ten be nyen bo sho da ra gwen cha cha jen ge me ta ba ra pe pe ve ra ye yo.
Good night.
Good night. Doctor, it's 9:00.